Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this time around headlines we are focusing on United States. And so clearly after Donald Trump become president, his team has gone into a whirlwind of operations and changes, and they are doing crazy amount of things. And I'm quite sure you have lost track because I also cannot keep up. It's quite crazy. So I decided to also do a headlines, and I see how often can I do this, but I'll try my best. So the biggest news over the past 24 hours is Donald Trump imposing 25 tariff on the import of steel and aluminium. So according to Donald Trump, he have thrown 25% tariff on all steel and aluminium imports. And also he's planning to do reciprocal tariff on countries levying duties on US goods. So which means that if let's say you are France and maybe you throw a 10% or 25% tariff on US wheat, like grain, then United States will do a 25% also on French grain and wheat, something like this. No, reciprocal, but usually I don't think it works much because yeah, if you're gonna buy US stuff, that means US don't need it. US have a lot of it, so something like this. But yeah, so that's the plan, I think. So but the big one is the 25% tariff from steel and aluminium. So on Sunday, which is the past 48 hours, Trump formally announced the tariff on the steel and aluminium, and then he did not specify which country he will do the retaliation tariff, but it will not affect all countries. So he said that he said very simply, if they charge us, we will charge them. According he told reporters on Air Force One, if they're charging us 130%, we are charging them nothing, it's not going to stay that way. So this is exactly what I'm trying to explain. So and for the steel thing, Canada is the top supplier of steel to US, followed by Brazil, Mexico, South Korea, and Vietnam. So Canada is also the top exporter of aluminium to United States, with China, Mexico, and UAE following suit. So this is the big news. It's affecting the market, and a lot of crazy shit is happening right now. And Japan is pretty aware of this risk, and they are Nippon Steel, Japan Steel, is trying to buy US steel. So Donald Trump said that no, you cannot get a majority stake in the US Steel because this is a strategic security, so national security issue. So this come after the meeting between the Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba of Japan, saying that the Japanese steelmaker is considering to invest in US steel instead of outright purchasing it. So original plan was Nippon Steel want to acquire US steel during the summit with Trump, and saying that making US company a wholly owned subsidiary to protect information is a prerequisite for technology transfer and big capital investment. However, as the more they talk, the more it's not going to happen. The next day, Donald Trump said at a joint news conference with Ishiba that Nippon Steel has agreed to invest heavily in US steel instead of owning it. So the buyout plan is definitely out of the question. It's not even unclear. It's totally is not going to happen. And so it's going to go from full acquisition to partial ownership, and the two companies will definitely fundamentally change their current contract, with US Steel needing to win approval of shareholders at the general meeting. So partial ownership will reduce US Steel's contribution to Nippon Steel's earning, diminishing the benefit of the investment. Speaking on television program, Ishiba, the Prime Minister said that the US Steel shares the Japanese the how many US Steel shares that the Japanese company is going to buy is a private sector matter. They will not reveal. But this probably explain the slightly cold dynamics between this Prime Minister and Donald Trump. There's some people have noticed that they did not address each other by their first name. So definitely the meeting did not go very well for Japan, and Donald Trump is definitely not happy with this attempt to buy out US strategic interests. So not just Japan is trying to do, like this is what Japan trying to do by trying to avoid maybe tariff and whatnot, which did not work out. India is also trying to do their best before the meeting with Trump. So the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is still continuing to try to cut as much tariff as they can ahead of meeting Donald Trump, in order to boost American export to India and avoid a potential trade war. But Donald Trump had previously called India a very big abuser of trade, and emphasizing that India should buy more American stuff. So India is still currently, looking at whatever tariff that they can reduce, including electronic, medical, surgical equipments, and chemicals to raise US export to India. And this reduction aligns with New Delhi's domestic production plan. So they need to figure out what they can cut. They say that the concessions are being considered for items that India primarily sourced from the United States, and it could buy more of, like a satellite dish and wood pulp. So they're going to meet next week. So India is also looking to open some mini trade deals and hopefully avoid a trade war. So for example, one of the cut that is already confirmed is India's average import tariff rate from dropped to 13% from dropped to 11 from 13%, including the tax cut in the taxes on the high-end bikes and luxuries car from the United States. So they are also reviewing another 30 items. So they are definitely trying their best. But I honestly tell you, the tariff is going to come, and the tariff is going to hit everyone in the world. Almost all countries going to get hit by US tariff. So it's just a matter of time. So this is unavoidable. It's just a matter of how much tariff they're going to hit you. So I think this is a new reality that every country have to face. So nothing particularly, special about that. And Donald Trump, during the because they have this Super Bowl thing, the armored rugby, they have the armored rugby, finals today, or just now. And during the halftime, Donald Trump got bored with the performance that was like, I also don't like the performance. It's not my type of music. But anyway, Donald Trump tweeted on Truth Social, if I'm not wrong, that he said that United States have minted pennies. They cost way more than the penny itself. So he said this is wasteful. So he have instructed the Secretary of the US Treasury to stop producing new pennies. He said, let's rip the waste out of the great nation budget, or even if it's a penny at a time. So according to, Trump never mentioned about the penny things, although Elon Musk did raise this prospect that, the penny is actually a bit too expensive. So the US Mint lost $85.3 million in 2024 just to produce the 3.2 billion pennies. And each penny costs actually more than a penny. Yeah, so that's kind of crazy. So actually you melt the metal is actually worth more than the actual penny. So yeah, the Mint is also losing money on the nickel, with each of the 5-cent coins costing 14 cents. So it's not worth the metal anymore. This just how bad the inflation has become, how weak these currencies has all become. So Donald Trump is trying to eliminate the 1 cent first, and then they're going to consider more, I believe, as they come. So tentatively, it's unclear if Donald Trump have this authority to just eliminate it himself, or whether it needs Congress to actually pass this law. So, but yeah, more streamlining of the US economy under Donald Trump, and we are only like in the 3rd week. So so many things happening. DOGE cancel funding for Fauci's museum exhibit. So as DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency continued to dig through, they started to dig into the Department of Health and Human Service, the HHS, and they have cancelled $180 million worth of contract within 2 days, within 48 hours. This includes a $170,000 contract for Anthony Fauci museum exhibit, which is mind-blowing. Why are they doing a museum exhibit for Fauci? Oh my god. So anyway, that the exhibition is gone. 62 contracts was cancelled, worth $182 million. And and they emphasize that this is purely administrative expenses. Nothing have touched healthcare programs. So this is crazy thing that is happening. This cost cutting continues, and into the Department of Education. So Elon Musk have declared that the Department of Education is no more. There's no such education department that exists after getting challenged on, I think, Twitter. So the DOGE officials have gained access to the administrator email account at the Department of Education. A lot of people, mainly the Democrats, are criticizing the attack on the Department of Education, and including this Congressman Maxwell Alessandro Frost. And then Elon Musk replied, "No such department exists in the federal government." Basically, making a declaration that the entire department is going to be gone. So Donald Trump criticized the Department of Education as ineffective, wasteful, and dominated by radical leftists. And they have constantly pointed out that the results of the students of the United States is the poorest among all these first world country, and that's despite that that's in spite or despite this is spite because United States have been spending more and more money on education, but the results have been getting worse and worse. So they're going to eliminate it. And so two of the DOGE members, Akash Boba and Ethan Sheltron, have gained administrator level status, and they are going to do some shit. But I think the Department of Education is gone. So it is what it is. Yeah. So and then some other news, which is the Hurricane Helene victim abuse cases. So a grand total of 80% of the open cases has been cleared out within 5 days. This comes after under Biden, they haven't really done much things. So we can hear what he said.
In the past 5 days, we've decreased the number of open cases by almost 80%. President Trump is ensuring that communities aren't forgotten, and he launched the first major initiative to connect farmers with recovery assistance as well. Today, I had the chance to spend some time with Mark, who's a micro farmer in this area, and to talk about some of the FEMA programs that he's been able to utilize that have been incredibly helpful. In the past 5 days.
So this is some of the things that is happening. This comes after Donald Trump actually visited the North Carolina, if I didn't remember wrong, that he actually visited it, talked to the people there, and then make it clear that everything is going to be resolved. So according to the victim cases, 80% is allegedly closed. So in 5 days. So and according to the tweet, is that they insist that no news outlet actually reported about this, not a single one. And I did try to search. Indeed, I cannot find a single news outlet talking about this. So I'm not sure if this is invalid or what. I'm not sure. I don't know what the hell is happening, but maybe there's just way too much news going around. This cannot get into the headlines. Another news is Canada. So people are still debating if Trump is actually serious about annexing Canada into one of the states in United States. And Donald Trump doubled down and said that he's serious about wanting Canada to become the 51st state during the interview that aired during the Super Bowl pre-show. And Donald Trump said that, yeah, it is. It's a real thing. He said, I think Canada would be much better off being the 51st state because we're losing $200 billion a year with Canada, and he's not going to let it happen. Why are they paying $200 billion a year, essentially a subsidy to Canada? This referring to the trade deficit to Canada. So largely this is due to the buying of energy, and so the trade gap has rise to $72 billion in 2023, and largely reflective of the importing of Canadian energy. So Donald Trump claimed that Canada is not viable as a country without US trade, and warned that this Canada can no longer depend on US for military protection. He said that then he emphasized furthermore that Canada do not pay very much for military, So because they didn't pay much is because they know that United States is going to protect them. So this shouldn't be their assumption according to Donald Trump. So yeah, so this comes after Canada and Mexico, which have already reported that they managed to have a temporary deal with United States to delay the tariffing for 30 days. However, Donald Trump says that it's not good enough. Something has to happen. It's not sustainable, and I'm changing it. So this echoes what I already warned during that video, that the all this tariff is definitely going to come. The delay is just just a small bonus for doing a bit more, but Donald Trump's tariffing is definitely still going to come. And finally, Trump also told that he has spoken to Vladimir Putin. This is the first confirmation that he indeed talked to Putin, and he actually did not say how many times they have spoken. So he did not give additional details, and he said that, and he also said that he better not say how many times he and Putin had spoken, and he will not disclose when was the latest conversation. So he only said that Putin want to see people stop dying. So this confirms that Donald Trump and Putin is talking, and this confirms my previous report that they are talking, but the conversation, the negotiation is going badly for United States, because Putin have all the uppercuts. They are all winning. They're winning the battlefield. They are not really suffering much from the sanction anymore. So there's not much bargaining chip for Donald Trump to actually play with. So I think having multiple conversations clearly shows that the negotiations is ongoing and it's actually rather difficult. So anyway, so these are all the headlines over the past 24 hours plus in United States, all the crazy things happening in the US. So anyway, thank you for watching. Do press the like button, subscribe. Let me know if you want me to continue to cover the US developments, because under Donald Trump, a lot of things is changing, and I think that we need to keep track of what the hell is happening, because just way too much things happening. So let me know if it's helpful, it's useful, and I'll see you guys in the next update, and subscribe.